consecutive home victory, which is the 8th longest streak in the nation. So with that, I'll let Coach make an opening statement and we'll open up for questions. Coach?
Well, good to get a win. It was actually one of those that I couldn't get over quick enough. From my standpoint, it just seemed like it drug on forever, and finally it's over with, and we got a win. First half, actually it's mainly second quarter defensively is where we kind of opened things up, and we had talked about really needing to get him passing lanes pressure, get him away from the 3-point line coming into this, and really we did not in the first quarter. We finally did in the second quarter. We got him away from the 3-point line. He was able to get some steals. We went to a press for a few possessions, and I thought that kind of jump-started us a little bit. Second half was not real pleased defensively. I thought we just kind of coasted through it a little bit. Obviously areas of concern is, things that we have not done all year is turn the ball over 22 times. I mean, we have not done that. You give up 16 offensive rebounds. We knew that was a key. And we did a poor job there. And then, we go to, one of our keys to this game, and it is in every game, is keeping teams out of the double bonus, the way the rules are in women's basketball this year. And we did that in the first quarter and the second quarter. And then we couldn't stop fouling in the second half, and which was not good. So individual performances, the same ones. Khadijah obviously good again. Drea, really good. She was pretty aggressive tonight. 20 points, 10 rebounds. She gets a double-double. And actually, beyond that, the stat that really stands out to me is the 5 steals. And I think all 5 of those may have been in the first half. And they, because those were all steals that turned into points at the other end. I thought she did a really good job shooting passing lanes.
When you say it couldn't get over quick enough for you, is that a reference to the lackluster defensive play of the second?
Yeah, it's frustrating, and I just told the players, I get it, been in this long enough, and you look up at the score, and you got a nice little margin, but as I've said for years, this team knows this. To me, it's more about performance, not outcome. The outcome's great, but our performance in the second half, we got careless with the ball, careless rebounding, careless defensively, and those things will catch up to you. And we've been pretty good all year not having these type of stretches, and but that wasn't a very good second half.
You guys turned it over 22 times and still scored 80 points. I mean, does that speak to potential too? Just kind of what you guys can be if you play a full, kind of 40 minutes of solid play, I guess? Or?
Yeah, I mean it's just. I hope I can write that off as out of character, just one of those games, because what are we, 20th in fewest turnovers?
Mm-hmm. We were 9th coming into today in the nation.
Fewest turnovers. I mean, we've been one of the better teams in the nation and taking care of the ball. We've done a good job, and I just, we just got careless today. I don't know any other way to explain it. We were trying to push it, and we just made some careless mistakes there. So, but yes, you're correct. I mean, you still turn it over 22 times and get 83 points. I mean, we can put some points on the board. We just can't give away that many possessions.
Kind of think like this is one of those games, kind of one of those learning experiences where it's like, hey, see, I told you so, because you kind of turn the switch off, and it's kind of hard to turn that switch back on. Even like today. I mean, I know you preach that, but you think that they learned a lesson from that today?
Well, I hope so. We'll see, because again, that second half performance will get us beat Monday night for sure, and probably can get us beat Thursday and Saturday. So, we can't do that. I mean, we've got to be better than that. So, and we'll see where it goes from here. Again, this team is, maybe I'm being a little overly critical because we've been so good for the most part this year, and but that's my job, right? Be critical.
You did play a lot of people today. Was that possibly a factor in the lack of intensity on the defensive end?
Yeah, I don't think so. I hope not, because it's it's the same group every day that we're working in practice, and there shouldn't be drop off. I really don't. There shouldn't be, especially on the defensive end. Now there can be some timing issues and things, but defensively there should not be a drop off there. Shouldn't be.
Do you feel like it's one of those cases where maybe it is a double-edged sword? You got a week off and maybe got a break, and sometimes that's a good thing, and maybe sometimes it's a bad thing?
Yeah, possibly. I mean, possibly. I mean, we were playing so good last weekend, and Yeah, possibly. You know, maybe we didn't use this week as wisely as we should have, or I should have. And anyway, you know, I'd hate to focus so much on being a downer in this deal. I mean, we still win by 23. We're 5-0. But so a lot of good things happen as well out there. I just, you know, the negative things were really uncharacteristic of this team so far.
And being critical, I mean, yeah, it's a 23-point win and you're 5-0. But it's still not the perfect game, which is what you look for. But do you think this is maybe a good thing with 22 turnovers and so much to work on, considering you're getting ready to play Little Rock?
Yeah, I mean, it's only a good thing is because we won, and if we learn from it, you know, that would be the only positive. But yeah, obviously we know moving forward we cannot do that. We can't turn the ball over, especially as we, you know, with Little Rock team as good as they are defensively and as sound as they are, they don't turn the ball over. So you're really giving them, you know, it's one thing when you turn it over 22 times, but you force 27. You know, you don't lose ground. You turn it over that many times against Little Rock, you're going to lose ground because you won't force that many from them.
Khadijah and Andrea both scored over 20. I think it was the first time this year. I mean, just, you know, what can you be if they're working off of each other like that? You know, if they continue to kind of do that, work off each other like that.
Yeah, it's interesting to stat. I didn't realize that. It seemed like it was every night last year. But yeah, I mean, you know, again, that's where I thought Drea was really assertive tonight. I thought really she attacked really hard off the dribble. Yeah, it was one of the few games in recent that she's been able to catch the ball. You know, there's been people have face guarded her, and you know, she was able to catch it a little bit easier tonight to where she could create. And you know, Khadijah was just Khadijah. I mean, what I like about Khadijah is, you know, she gets 21 points tonight, and it kind of comes from a little bit everywhere. She hits a couple threes, she hits some jump shots, she, you know, got, you know, in the press, got some steals, got some layups, you know, got some, you know, I just thought it was a really well-rounded game out of Khadijah.
Coach, it seems like that, you know, what these teams are going to try to do is get physical, get in your head, try to slow you guys down. I mean, you guys have shown the ability to be able to get out in transition and get a lot of buckets, but it just seems like they're trying to bring the game to you guys and maybe get you out of character.
You know, I certainly, you know, again, I think, you know, Dre has seen that for 3 years, and his teams are really, they make it tough on her. You know, I think we underestimate how just really tough Dre is to have to deal with it, and you never see her react. You know, she handles it, and you know, she might get frustrated briefly, but she gets over things because, you know, she's just used to it. So I know people are really physical with her. You know, I think in to a little bit to that point is, I think one of the things, and I failed to do, is in giving credit to App State, is, you know, again, we knew the two things that they came in here doing really, really good is they create a foul game. They draw fouls, they turn it into a free throw. I mean, look at the number of free throws they've shot and their opponents. I mean, it's ridiculous. I mean, they turn it into that type of game. They recognize they're not a great shooting team, so they crash the boards hard, and so they did what they like to do. We just didn't do a very good job of offsetting it for the full game.
As you look ahead to Monday, you know, record-wise, ULR appears down. I mean, just have you looked ahead to them just much yet? Have you seen them much? What is your impression of them?
Well, I have not. I'll watch them here after this, but so I really can't say I have an impression. But I do know this. You know, I haven't even paid attention to the record because I've seen their schedule. And you know, it's a team that had a couple significant graduations last year. Players graduate last year, and yet you still, you know, LSU, Texas, Oklahoma, Texas A&M, you know, Tulsa. I mean, their schedule's been brutal, and you know, and it appears just watching scores that now they're starting to reap the benefits of that, of how strong their schedule's been, and they're starting to play a little bit better. And you know, I told somebody the other day, and you know, we'll have to watch this a little bit next year. But you know, when you do what I feel like we've tried to do, and certainly what Foley has done, and is when you get into scheduling strong, you can't just pick a year to back out of it. You know, all scheduling is year by 2 year. You know, and when you go through a year and you graduate some players, you can't just decide, well, we want to have an easier schedule. You're stuck with all those games, and so you know that's what they've been up against, and so the record pretty much meaningless. We know they're a good team, and they've certainly been tested as well as anybody in this league.
Anything else, guys?
What have you kind of come to expect from from Foley and just from his coach teams this game. I mean, what would you expect from them going into this game Monday night?
You know, they're going to be physical. You know, they're not going to turn the ball over. And you know that defensively you're going to have to really work. You're not going to get easy shots. You know, generally when we've played them, we've had to do a lot more, you know, set plays, a little more screening because they're so hard to, you know, where we are pretty good attacking off the dribble. They're hard to score off the dribble. You usually have to move them a lot more than that. So, you know, I'd say those are the main things to expect without seeing them yet.
Always tough. Right?
Absolutely, yeah, yeah, it will be. Going to be very physical and on both ends of the court. You know, from a defensive standpoint, you're going to have to be ready to fight through numerous screens. You know, not one or two. And you know, we play an App State team and you play a Lafayette team last Saturday, where defensively you might in any possession have to defend through one screen, maybe two. Those teams are all about driving and not screening. Little Rock, you're going to defend. You may have to fight through 5 or 6, 7 screens every single possession.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.